Hello and welcome to this Against the Storm tutorial on exploration and glades. As I mentioned in the introductory tutorial, this series will be covering all aspects of the gameplay, all of the various features and mechanics of the game. However, with the game still being in early access, some of these aspects may be altered slightly or greatly throughout the development period. When that happens, I plan to provide some kind of update, either with an updated tutorial video or at a minimum as a pinned comment. With that said, let's get started. Exploration in Against the Storm takes on really one modus. It's opening glades up and finding resources, finding events, and hopefully being able to solve those events. There are three different kinds of glades. There are small glades, which are small. They're differently sized to some extent, differently shaped for sure, but they are noted by, at least by default, no symbol on them. And then there are danger glades, which have this symbol, which is a simpler, skull-looking symbol. And finally, there are forbidden glades, which have this more complex skull symbol. Simple glades, or basic glades here, small glades, have usually a small amount of resources, probably about two different kinds. Sometimes that's nodes in the ground, sometimes it's caches, and sometimes it's a small event, a very minor event. Danger glades will have quite a few more resources, and then forbidden glades have even more resources. However, danger glades and forbidden glades will have an event that you will have to deal with, or you'll have an adverse consequence when dealing with that glade. We're going to open up a small and a danger glade here in a moment, as soon as they get a tree chopped or two, and we'll see what the differences are here. This glade, you'll get this alert every time a glade opens. You will have, actually have three types of resources in this one. Some reeds, small fields of reeds. This happens to be on the save that I have fully completed in terms of the upgrade tree. So I have all of the bonuses here to all the fields. You start out with usually about 15 charges of things like reeds and stone, and then through the various bonuses you can get up to a lot more, almost double. So the reeds here, we have two small nodes of reeds. Those small nodes take up one tile on the ground. You can see those here. Each type of resource gives a bonus. It has a chance for a bonus resource. So in this case, reeds are going to give us a 20% chance for roots and a 20% chance for clay. What that means is for every one of those 28 charges on this, there's a 1 out of 5 chance that you'll get roots or clay, or both. A 1 out of 5 chance each. So, in the 28 charges, you're going to get maybe about 5 to 6 units of roots, 5 to 6 units of clay. Again, it's totally a random draw. So you may get none, or you may get 28. Chances are you'll get 5 to 6, and that goes for both nodes. And then we also have one node of stone here, one small deposit of stone. Actually, that's coal. There's the stone is here underneath. Underneath the symbol, you can right-click to dismiss it. The stone here has 28 charges as well, and it has a chance for roots and bugs, both at 20%. And then finally here, the coal nodes, and there are two of them. Sometimes you have to be careful with coal and copper, because they can be hidden under the trees. In this case, it doesn't look like it, and maybe since the mining update, which came out just before Steam, and in fact is it doesn't show us here. I think it's version 36 we're on. They may not be under the trees anymore because they changed the way they work. Coal and copper are only gatherable via a mine, which is located in the industry menu, not the camps menu. Here you can see that you get a 30% chance for stone for every one of those charges, so about 9 stone per coal node. Mines have a bit of a unique gathering thing. You have to actually place the mine on top of the nodes, whereas every other type of gathering building, let's see, what do we have here? We have a forager someplace out here. you place them next to, or near to anyway, the resources you want to gather. But mines have to be placed on top. So we've opened up this glade. I'm going to unpause again and let them open up the danger glade as well. And actually, I'll kick the speed up so that we get there a little bit faster. Because they have they take their time there with the trees a little bit sometimes. These guys, they probably had a full warehouse, or full storage, so they're taking their time a little bit here. Here in a danger glade, we have, as you can see, a lot more resources. We have some bugs, some worm tongue, 3 big nests. And those have 68 charges apiece. Those are here. We have 5 small stormbird egg nests. Those have 23 charges apiece. You can see those here. And you can also see their bonus resources. And then we have 3 coal deposit. Oh, there is one under a tree, so they do still appear under the trees. There's one there under that tree as well. So there are actually 4 coal deposits, but because it's covered by a tree, it doesn't get counted as part of the glade. And so it doesn't appear on this pop-up, but all you have to do is remove the tree from above it with your woodcutter, and then you can gather that coal. Large abandoned cache and a medium abandoned cache. And then our event is Fallen Lizard Hunters. Let's talk about the caches first. This is your sort of second type of good on the ground. Caches require these tools, either simple tools or infused tools, to open. And you have a choice of either taking a bunch of goods or getting some amber plus some reputation. Large caches will give you 1 reputation point. Medium caches will give you 0.75. And if I have a small cache, which I don't think I do, they will give you a half. The amount of tools required depends on the difficulty level. I think I have this one on Pioneer, which is the 2nd level difficulty. So the numbers, I believe, are either 6 or 8 for small, 10 for medium, and 14 for large for the simple tools, or half as many for the infused tools. And then finally, the Glade event here is, there's a wide variety of Glade events. Let's clear this out of the way. Some Glade events require you to bring some kind of material to them. So you have to have made that kind of material in your town and have it available. They usually have a choice of 6 different types of materials. 1 or 2 of the types of materials are oftentimes one or the other of the, or both of the the infused or the basic tools, the simple tools. So if you have those, at least you can use those. Sometimes the resources are things like planks, fabric, or bricks. Sometimes the resources are things like incense or wine or any of the other services goods. You just kind of have to click on it and see what it is that you have. Every Glade event has this threat. The threat is in 8 minutes in this case. It will spawn at least 2 pieces of living matter. Living matter is a separate type of Glade event, so if you don't solve this Glade event in time, then you will spawn more and more Glade events, basically, with living matter, because living matter spawns living matter after that. So you need to solve these eventually, otherwise you'll have this penalty. The living matter, I think, will eventually start eating away at the resources and may spread into your base and start eating away at your buildings. I've never let it get that far. I usually try and deal with the Glade events before this countdown, but sometimes you can't for various reasons, so you have to suffer the consequences. They also have a working effect, 1 or more working effects. While you have workers assigned here, and I don't have enough assigned, or enough to assign, but while you have workers assigned here, and then you select whichever you want to hear, whichever reward. You have usually some sort of a perk, or oftentimes a perk, and then some kind of goods. Or you can choose the reputation bonus and some amber. I think all, at least Danger Glade events, have a half a point reputation. Forbiddens might have more. And then when you're investigating this, they will have a debuff, usually a resolve debuff. In this case, it's specific to lizards because this is a Fallen Lizard Hunters, so the lizards are sad to see some of their comrades in arms there dead. So while you're working on this, they have a -8 to resolve, and that of course affects this resolve score here. And if you are happen to be getting resolve from reputation, that will also obviously take away that bonus once they get down too low. So that's Glade events. Finally, one other thing you can find in Glades is an abandoned building, an abandoned ruin. Sometimes these are haunted. It might only be in, I believe it's only in the Cursed Royal Woodlands that you'll find haunted ones. But here in a glade, you'll sometimes find a ruin. Ruins can be rebuilt by providing them with some kind of goods. Usually it's construction materials. May always be construction materials. Sometimes one, sometimes two. Or you can substitute in some small amount of tools. You can rebuild that building, which gives you just one of the building. It doesn't give you a blueprint to build more. It just gives you this one building. In this case, it's a smelter, so it gives us ability to smelt copper, crystallize dew, and make biscuits. Or you can salvage the building to get just some resources. In this case, biscuits and copper. Oftentimes, the resources have something to do with the building itself, but not always. I've seen some odd combinations, I think, in my time. So that is basically the extent of exploration and glades. Every glade you open, unless you have a perk that cancels it out, will give you additional hostility. Regular glades at fewer points than the danger glades. I believe it's 7 and maybe it's 7.5. Must be 7.5 and 15 in this particular case. That's because of the difficulty multiplier of 1.5. Because I'm playing on Pioneer, the base numbers are 5 and 10. So you have a disincentive to opening glades, as well as an incentive to opening glades in order to get more resources. So it's a trade-off for sure. We're going to leave this here. I believe this covers everything on glades and exploration. I did cover resources and resource nodes a bit in another tutorial, so take a look at that. If you have additional questions about how those work, let me know if you have any questions about any tutorial, either by replying in the comments or using the link below to come to my Discord. Also, check out my simultaneously running Let's Play series. I'm treating the first part of that series as a tutorial in a Let's Play, so a lot of the same things are being explained as we go through, but as we continue through to more and more towns, I'm reducing the explanations, so it will eventually lead to a Let's Play series, much like the Let's Play series that I had been doing throughout the past year. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.